My friend Jack played. I really like that. He's super fun.
I'll leave that to the populace. I'll just go whatever we want.
I think they're whatever house created in their research.
He runs a thin hand through it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. My friend Jack played. I really like that. He's super fun. Honestly, one of the best working.
He's rolling.
We're rolling and we're rolling.
Don't freak out. I'm serious. Nyle, breathe. Don't freak out.
Don't freak out, but you are on camera.
Oh, you're just calling my name now.
Look at this cat.
Oh, you don't want to be in it, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Cool, just making sure out. Yeah. How has being an artist changed you?
I'm significantly louder than most people on planet Earth, and so I'm a lot louder than I was when I guess I wasn't, or maybe I've always been, but I wasn't cognizant of it or something. It's changed everything. I can't even pinpoint a particular few things other than I'm way louder than I used to be.
What else would you say informs your music or inspires it? Maybe music, maybe other things.
Well, I'm always obviously inspired by a bunch of really awesome music. I get really inspired by just being around like really nice people for the most part, and people who support me, and vice versa. Like my friend Sylvia in there, she just played and I feel very encouraged to play myself. And I don't know, just being around good people that treat you nicely.
How do you think your time in spring informs the music you're making now?
Well, it's always kind of the same in a way. Whether it's with the box, the guitar, or whatever I have, it's always kind of like I'm just trying to get onto paper or recording or into the air out whatever I'm thinking about. Yeah, I mean, there's no difference between the projects outside of the sound and the songs, which is big, but at the end of the day, like, the impetus is just still the same. Like, I'm just kind of trying to figure it out, just doing something. I have to do something, right?
What do you feel like is the relationship between yourself and your listeners, Is there, like, what's the connection like? And do you think that you owe them anything for, like, listening to you, or is you, like, making music and offering that vulnerability, like, the end of your contribution to that relationship?
Well, a lot of the time I actually, depending on how normal the people are and how they treat me, I actually become friends.
Yeah.
Just by playing with other people. Yeah. So most of the time, it becomes like a relationship if it's good. I mean, I try and not really talk too much to people I don't know. I don't really feel like I owe them anything, and I don't really feel like they owe me anything, but I really am thrilled and very enthusiastic that anyone listens to me at all. I feel very, very blessed. So.
Thank you very much for coming out. My name is Alexander Kent. This is Big Brown Cow, and I'm a motherfucking survivor. In the morning, I went down to your apartment. I had a call. Tell her I love her.
'Cause does spirituality play any role in your music?
Oh yeah, of course.
What role would that be?
I don't know. Well, I mean, like, I guess the music is, so it's, it's like somewhat devotional. Like, I was raised in a Catholic household. I'm not really part of that creed anymore. I feel like everything I do one way or another is like kind of just trying to grapple with that and figure that out, because I really don't know much about the incorporeal or whatever. I only know what's in front of me, so I'm just trying to grapple with the question of it, really. But I would call it devotion music. Its own.
Not in
songs I sing. I don't fucking care. Snow and narrow in her chest and admiration for her body. Hurt you love from the pain. Daniel, opportunist, hands like John the Baptist. May 1,000 locusts descend upon me. Fuck, man! Fuck! A guitar strap, sensor in your crotch, and a pseudonym, sensor in your name. Hey! It's between your Jimmy and you, man! It's between your Jimmy and you! What did you think I wouldn't know it was you? What did you think I wouldn't notice? What, are you out of your goddamn mind? What, are you out of your fucking mind, man? Fuck! 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 Daniel! Daniel! Judas incarnate! Your naked body's in my headlights. They'll know it is me by the Idaho plate. There exists a throne in the 9th circle of hell. The words, King of Weasels, engraved in the ice there with your name on it. So please, take a seat, Daniel. Daniel, 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 Daniel. Daniel, I'm going to bury you, Daniel. I'm going to bury you, Daniel. I'm going to climb up your leg and pull down your gay little underwear, and I'm going to bury you 50,000 feet underground. Original sin this, son of man that. God may discriminate, but the soil does not. God may discriminate, but the soil does not. Daniel, Daniel, you fool. You fool, Daniel. Daniel, you fool. You never know. You never know. You never know. Of course you didn't know. How could you have known? How could you have known, my friend? How could you have known that I have my own private telephone wire plugged directly into the heavens where they all tell me exactly what the next note must be? Well, if you've got something to say, well, then you better say it. 'Cause this is the last time you will see me. wasn't enough. It'll never be enough. I did the best I could. Quite forget the feeling of being underneath your wing, lover for both our little sings. Lover, you reduce me to nothing more than a forgotten stain upon your cheeks. I will make sure you never do forget the feeling of being underneath my weight, lover, even when you didn't want to be. It is burned in 1,000 moons. You faked for me, and my finishing note of obligation. Tell me again how I'll never find another better. Tell me again how I'll never find a cunt wetter.
Is it ever difficult for you to reach the emotional highs that you do when you perform live? Do you feel like the setting can like fuck you up and you like can't really perform to your best, or is it just you get in it?
Every show is different, but I actually don't have too hard a time to get there. It's more like a mental state, and most of the time I'm just closing my eyes. But a lot of the time, you know, if the sound is weird and like if I anticipate things too much, have a good night. If I anticipate things too much and like get myself all excited about how it's gonna be instead of just
Letting it be what
having
it is.
no expectations,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of the time. It's mostly like self-sabotage, like, but I would say that it plays a role. It's not super hard for me at this point. I've been doing it for a while,
I started writing this song I'm about to play, like when I was 16, and you know, I never put it out, but I've been working on it for like 10 years now, and I was with August, who's on tour from Portland right now. We were playing some shows up in Bellingham, and I finished it then. So it's a decade-long song into work, and I finished it right before I played that song during my set of that night. So I just wanted to mention that, and you know, August is here all the way from Portland, so show some support and buy all of his stuff. The Chinese restaurant in McCall, Idaho, tried to bribe you with frankincense and gold. Show her your pubic hair, and there's no way she didn't know that at that age you'd have no pubic hair to show. And on your bed were planning seeds upon your chest as I try and imagine that you look like a dress. And the Lord takes just as much as it makes. Yeah, the Lord takes. You mark my words, the horses will be coming out. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
Do you only want to be known as the artist, or do you want to show like other facets of like who you are and like be like more personable to your audience, or is it just kind of like it starts and stops with your music?
I mean, I just pretty like regular guy, honestly, all things considered. Yeah. Like I work in a coffee shop, just hang out with my friends, and then in addition to that, like everybody else, I happen to make some music, and that's just what I enjoy doing. That's what I do it because I really get a lot of satisfaction out of that. But I don't really feel super compelled to be I kind of like more of a shy, kind of like reserved person, and I like to have fun. I have a lot of fun and get crazy with my friends, but when I'm not around them, I feel more reserved. So I mean, yes and no. It's kind of, the things are very connected, so it's kind of, it's just inseparable to a certain degree. Yeah,
definitely. When listening to your music, I feel like I really can see themes of like nature standing out. What role does your environment play in how you write?
Yeah, it's everything, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of like a child when I make art. It's just whatever's in front of me. And I actually live in the Cleveland National Forest, which is like on the backside of Orange County, just kind of like up against the forest. So there's like a creek that wraps around the house, and take field recordings all the time. Frogs, like thunder the other night.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
What aspects of experimentalism are you? I can't talk. Are you excited to dip your toes into? Are there any specific instruments or techniques you're excited to play around with that you haven't yet?
I mean, I was kind of doing some like modular synth stuff for a little bit last summer, and I just don't really think it's for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Beyond that, honestly, and like not so much like newer. Done a lot of like crazy music. I've kind of been wanting to do something very simple and like slow and like drawn out and long, and like I really like ambient music, and like I might be starting a new project. I played guitar and piano for a long time. Sad Gods is kind of a newer thing, and I've been kind of wanting to play guitar again. So probably just like some guitar based, like super long, slowly evolving. Lots of delays, lots of reverbs. Might start another project for that.
What other projects are you involved in?
There's one under my own name, which is like what I mostly have released music out in the past. It's under Jonathan Atchley. I've released a couple albums, like pretty old, under the Odd Lamb, which are kind of, I don't know, I'm not good with time, maybe like 20 years old. Yeah. But they're more similar to like the Sad God stuff, probably, like lots of instruments, like lots of layering, but they're more like Happy Gods. I don't know. It's like almost like a psychotic, like 5-year-old genius like made music. It's just like
that's awesome.
Like would layer and like Thundercats and cartoons and like tons of beats, and it was just pretty wild. It's kind of like I kind of got obsessed when like home recording was kind of first coming out. It was like kind of blew my mind. I was like, well, I can make like any sound I want to, and like it just was so fun to just like do whatever I can imagine, which was pretty fun. And then I just kind of just realized I like writing lyrics and singing and performing, like playing guitar more than like producing and layering stuff and doing all that. So I did that for a pretty long time, but now I'm back to layering stuff and producing stuff again. Brother Jargon, I think, is one I'm starting with, the guitar bass, like ambient music. Sad Gods, Ninu Nanu is one that's like I'd hit record and just freestyle stuff, and like maybe come back and like add some stuff sometimes on top of it, but it was like kind of a like automatic writing kind of approach. And that was a really fun project. It kind of like saved my like interest in like making art and stuff, because I kind of got burnt out when I first started. I was just like kind of not into like the art world and the industry. I moved to New York, and I was like doing a lot of visual art and music, and I got kind of bummed out on the scene, and like kind of became, I'm just not very good at like schmoozing and stuff. And it's like who you know, and to get in galleries or to play shows, and that whole world just like really depressed me, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing that. And then I can't stop being an artist. I'm just a creative person. So I started just like freestyling stuff, and I had so much fun doing that, and it kind of changed my perspective on making art. And yeah, that's kind of a special project, even though it's like the least known project for sure. Yeah. And I have my nephews, like little kids, singing on it and stuff. It's just fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
My daughter actually also sings on Sad Gods. She's
No way.
Yeah, she it was before she could like read even. Like we were recording it in like little chunks because she could only read so much at a time.
That's
so
so special.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's a song, it's called Broken Circle Swimmer on the Ocean Mask Whisper album. Yeah, that one's a real cool one with her.
That's
and the one that I actually started the set with her. At the beginning. Yeah.
And falling from early morning sky, through past rain on freeway, this garden, soul perceiving bolts of light, cutting through cars, flesh, metal, concrete, soil, skin, tangled man, pulling metals out in oil, sweat, gasoline, and blood. Seeing the thoughts and intentions of the hub. A symphony of twisting metal, distorted whale songs, fire, deafening explosions say, there shall be like gods, calling me by name. Philosophy approaches, stage left, speaks.
Bass seems to be a key element in your music, What do you find there is to gain in letting your listeners sit in the same space for prolonged periods of time?
I'm not very patient. Like, taking time with music is something I'm trying to, like, get better at, I guess. Yeah, I like doing things pretty quick. I have, like, a lot of albums out, like, under different projects, and, yeah, people criticize me a lot for not focusing or like, editing, or I just kind of, like, put out a trillion things. So I think it'd be fun to, like, I'm also getting older, but just, like, to slow down and take my time more. And,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
When someone leaves seeing a Sad God set, what do you hope they feel and what do you hope they think about on the way home?
That's a good question. Something.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I have, like, my ideals, you know, like, it would be awesome if they like the same stuff I like when I made it, because, you know, that's just, like, I make stuff that I like, and I want other people to feel that, you know, but, yeah, it's once it's out of me, like, I have no control, so, whatever.
Yeah.
However it hits them, positive, negative, whatever, as long as it does something.
What does the future look like for your music? August and Triage, any other projects you have going on?
So the future for August, currently I am beginning to write songs for my next album, which is currently tentatively called Flesh and the Devil, which is after an old film from the 1920s. And the songs that I played tonight are kind of beginning pieces to that. They're still in the process of being written. So for Triage, it's hard to say because there's a lot of factors involved in making that band function, and there's every member's in a bunch of different bands, so we're kind of all over the place all the time. Two of the members are in the band Kareen, who just came through here last week. So
How much of your live performances would you say is improvised?
Currently, for this set of shows, I would say not a lot. I'd say it's probably about 25%. For historic, like, previous tours I've done, it's, you know, it's show to show. Some shows I show up and it's a full improv set. I did a tour last year at the beginning of the year where I did, actually no, it might have been 2 years ago now. I did a tour where I had a band and it was me on keyboards and vocals and then another keyboard player and then a drummer. And that was full improv. Every set we do is just a 25-minute improv set. And we did a whole tour like that. So yeah, it really varies. It depends on where I'm at.
So when you're like writing new music, how much is in your head before you start sitting down and actually playing it?
There's like a grand vision. Usually I come up with the idea of my album and what I want it to look like, quote unquote. And that starts with like names of albums, names of songs. Like I'll name songs before I write the songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's an interesting thing because I kind of look at it as like a painting, and then all the songs are like little details within the painting, and the album itself is the big image at hand.
What is your favorite project you've worked on so far?
My favorite project? Are you talking like
Release, probably.
Release?
Yeah.
That's a good question. The Triage album is kind of like the one that I get the most response out of. People tend to come to me about that one the most. Even still, it's been like 5 years since I released it, and it's still the one that people remember the most. But I think as of like my project with August, it's probably Heaven's Gate, the last album I released, just because I think that the albums that all came before it were just trying to do what it did, and so it kind of just hit the like apex of it. And so after I did that, I was like, cool, I'm done with this vision I've been trying to achieve for the last year, and now I can move on finally. So it felt like I finally actually realized it.
My name is August. I'm here from Portland, Oregon, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
And then what role does improvisation play in August, and what does that look like during the recording process?
Improvisation has been kind of an interesting thing because the first 5 studio albums that I did are largely from the ground up, like demoed. I come in and I just play an idea and then I build on top of that. So it's improvisation in the sense that it's like spur of the moment ideas put on top of each other. With this current series of stuff that I'm writing, I'm actually sitting down and like thinking about each individual part before I record it. So it's a lot more methodical. Improvisation still making its way in as far as like the spaces from like section A to section B, where it's like the amalgamous in there.
do you feel is the ultimate communicator of emotion, instrument or lyric? What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of communicating through both?
About 2 years ago, I probably would have said lyric. Right now, I'm a little bit more on the instrument side. My music's generally not, like, I don't know, I've had a couple albums that are pretty lyrically dense, but usually it's pretty instrumentally, like, it's more dense in that sense. And I kind of use that to communicate most of the emotions at hand. As far as like the advantages and disadvantages, when it comes to lyrics, I think that you can become too literal in your lyrics, and then people can't like find their own like their own way to relate to the music, or you can be too vague. You know, your lyrics can be too vague, and people are going to not see what you're trying to convey or be able to like grasp their own idea of it. And with instruments, it's like I think there's a large portion of people who maybe aren't used to listening to like a lot of instrumentally dense stuff, and probably don't necessarily glean like, for example, like dissonant sounds. A lot of people are very quickly dismissive of it, even though it's like, the tension, that like discomfort in it is an emotion in itself. Yeah, and so that's an advantage and a disadvantage.
Definitely.
When you look right into his dead eyes, will you ever see?
How does your approach to writing guitar pieces vary? When do you prioritize texture over melody? And is that only something you can really do with a full band with other stringed instruments?
No, I mean, I think workshopping music with other people is like the easiest way to find out what the next step in music, like whatever you're writing is. Because it's like, usually I'm kind of just playing guitar in my room. I can't really like make music in DAWs or anything like that because I'm too distractible, or I get like lost in like the black hole of options. But like instruments are like immediate, and the sound is kind of like right there. And so I think between Alex, like both of us kind of have a similar process of like writing with instruments. He's been working with just like making sounds and then trying to arrange them, but I haven't really gotten there yet. And yeah, I guess mostly it's just playing an instrument and then kind of decorating it, or making a bunch of sound, and then if you don't know what to do next, you can stick something in there and then workshop it on your own until it works. Yeah. But it's a lot easier to play with other people, and honestly more fun. Yeah. If you're willing to schedule and
go through all that.
Manage personalities and like all of that.
Yeah, for sure. What is a project that you've always wanted to do but you haven't gotten the chance yet?
I have this Casio. It's like a really big Casio that I bought at a pawn shop in high school. And I just love playing the drum machine with it. Oh, nice. And if you stick it in front of a fuzz pedal or something, it doesn't sound as goofy sometimes. Yeah. So like the drum samples that were at the end of the first song tonight are just Casio drums. Oh, no way. Like that are kind of blown out and then like resampled. But yeah, my friend Mate and I we had a jam. Oh, you have the cigarette. Yeah, this fucking legend over here. We were just jamming one night. I just wanted to like make a silly project with the Casio for a long time.
Yeah,
It doesn't
real.
even have to be silly, but I just like the immediacy. Like
Yeah.
You push the button and it makes
And there it
sound
is,
and
yeah.
you kind of like ride the wave of it. Like I can't like program a beat or something. I've tried to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the attention span for it. Maybe if I had an Adderall prescription.
Real.
What does the future look like for your solo project, Apesma, and everything else you're doing?
For the solo, I've been thinking about putting a band together for 25 years. No, not that long. But yeah, I mean, ideally it'd be fun to like play it with a band. I think it's harder now to make bands than it used to be because you have to pay so much in rent, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the financial pressure for our generation is kind of like insane.
Insane.
And like the time demand that ends up meaning for people, and like on the emotional labor of like working 5 days a week or something is like kind of brutal. So especially if you're not like great at scheduling or organizing your life, which I'm not naturally good at, it's kind of hard to throw a band together. But I really want to have that and like play the songs and make a record. I used to think that I wanted to record it on my own, and I did that for that tape that I made a few years ago, because I liked the amount of time that you would have to like premeditate and tweak it. But after recording the last couple albums of Sprain, the whole like just going into a room with a well-rehearsed group and like banging it out makes that whole process so much easier. And honestly, handing off all of the like honestly tedious part of like mixing stuff is so freeing. If you can afford it, that's like the hardest part. It's still money,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like money is like unfortunately ruling a lot of that stuff. But yeah, and same with touring. Like it's hard to tour, if you have to fucking work all the time, and your whole life has to kind of get uprooted. I don't know. Maybe it was always like that. But rent is objectively high. So.
Yeah.
A little worse now.
Cost
Yeah.
of living is
Quite a bit,
objectively
yeah.
it's psychotic. Yeah.
Thanks for waiting around. Everyone's real sleepy, and I'll keep it short and sweet.
why do you make music? Is it to express yourself or to get a reaction from an audience? Is it both? And how much does the response hold? How much value does the response hold when you're writing music?
I think I got into it for selfish reasons because I thought it would like make me cool or something, or, but also because I've always wanted to travel and like see as much of the world, and I kind of thought about it, and like music feels like the most realistic way of like traveling and doing it meaningfully and like meeting people and like just like living life fully. And yeah, I think I'm trying to write and make music for myself more, and I find that when I do that without thinking about how it's going to be perceived, that it ends up like if I'm having a good time when I'm writing it, then it'll probably someone else will have a good time when they're listening to it.
Yeah.
Or a bad time, you know, if that's the point.
Whatever desired effect, yeah. That makes sense.
I shot my shot at the sky last night, but I think I missed. As I woke up with holes in my chest, and I pay my bills, and I eat my pills. The script hits strong, and the feeling's gone. I nailed a bomb to explosion stream that didn't take. And I work all night to have food to eat, and I can't make some dumb mistakes, but I grind for days. When it does no good, and I learn to wait with an empty I forgot what I learned yesterday, 'cause I went right through. And a real deep breath and repeat myself, and I ride that spiral round. When I'm in your arms and lightning strikes, makes the world feel small and the pain feel right when I'm inside.
how much do you think, or in what ways do you think spraying influences the music you're making now?
I mean, it's totally influenced. You know, it was like my life for like 5 years. You know? Yeah, and Alex and I like have totally influenced each other. We're just around, like we're best friends in a lot of ways, and like it's totally. We show each other music all the time, and then playing things together and like finding out what feels good. Like it's like the natural process of discovery. It's the same thing of like feeling what feels good for you, and eventually caring less and less about how you're going to be perceived, or you know what other people are going to think when I mean I'm still like a very self-conscious person in a lot of ways, and so I kind of obsess over that, which I think is why I haven't played a lot of solo shows, which I'm working on. I'm in therapy, but yeah, I mean it's, you know, that was, I don't know, that was my life for so long, and yeah, workshopping with that band has totally changed how I've thought about music and to what extent like a song can be, you know. So yeah.
Thanks so much to August for asking me to play. Your set was really good, and I'm really excited for Sunday. Thanks for coming out.